Hey, what's up guys, BY Gaming here. So in today's video, I basically want to talk about the War Master Elvira slash low level Megataunt slash high attacker strategy that you may have run into in PvP. And I basically want to talk about how to shut this down definitively. So yeah, that's basically what we're going to get into today. So before we get into that, please like the video and subscribe to the channel if you have not already. So basically the way this strategy works, for those of you who do not know, is War Master Elvira basically has a status caster team evasion, which applies evasion to everybody on her team for one turn, which means for the duration of that turn, you cannot attack her or her teammates. All right, pretty simple. And this is paired with a low-level Megataunt, ideally something like Mephisto or, Centurion, or, Dunra, I believe, anything that has access to Megataunt. And that Megataunt is left at a low level. Basically, what this does is, so the Megataunt monster has evasion applied, and so you cannot hit that monster for one turn. But because the Megataunt monster is specifically left at a low level, usually level 4, right? It has very, very low speed. So the idea is that it takes a long time for this monster's turn to finally come, and during that time, you can only attack the Megataunt monster because that's what Megataunt does. It basically draws in all of your attacks, including AoE attacks. So you cannot attack War Master Elvira, nor can you attack the attacking monster that they left on the team for you. And so you basically are walled completely by the Megataunt monster. It takes all of your attacks, and because of the evasion, you can't hit it and kill it. And because it is a low level, it takes a long time for its turn to come, so that one turn can last many of your turns. All right, and then obviously during the time they're stalling out, one monster specifically on the team has very, very high attack power, probably like a lot of strength runes, and this monster is basically meant to kill all of your teammates in the time it takes for you to, clean up, right? So while you're being stalled out by the Megataunt, you're basically going to be killed by that one monster. And so, yeah, there are a couple of ways you can get over this. And the first and most definitive way is having a monster with access to Pierce. This is a pretty obvious answer, but pierces through, defensive tactics like evasion and shields. So if you have something like a Spectra, and you're probably a more advanced player, most likely, you're not going to run into this problem at all. This primarily applies to people who are still stuck in kind of like the middle of PvP. You're ranking yourselves up and you have not actually reached like Legendary 1, Legendary 2, Legendary 3, Legendary 4 yet, right? If you're like in the middle in like champion leagues, you will see this kind of thing pretty often, and it can be quite annoying, right? I definitely had my moments where I was like, dude, I want to just like quit this, but I force myself to finish it because I'm just like, no, I'm not going to let this guy beat me this time, right? And so yeah, getting a monster with Pierce obviously shuts this down completely because you can attack right through. You can attack through Megataunt, you can attack through evasion. So Pierce, one of the best traits in the game, without a doubt. Basically, it allows you to attack freely. You can even attack the, attacking monster, right? The monster with high attack, shut that down, and basically the entire strategy falls apart once that monster goes down. And another way you can counter this is by PER, positive effect removal, whether this be by Dispelling Fist, which I understand that some of you cannot get because Neurofunk is no longer obtainable. But if you do have Dispelling Fist, obviously that is a solution here. You could just use that, get rid of the Status Caster Megataunt and the evasion on the Megataunt monster, which means that you can attack freely after that, right? You basically do not need to wait for that monster's turn to come. You can basically just clean up however you please. You will still not be able to attack Elvira because it'll have evasion applied to itself, but you can at least attack through because you no longer will be stopped by the Megataunt mechanic. So that is one way you can do it as well, PER. And so, yeah, that's actually, those are the only two ways that I can think of at the moment. Obviously, Pierce would be the ideal go-to strategy here because basically it ensures that you can just wipe this entire thing out. You don't have to wait. You can just do an AoE Pierce attack, and it will clear out all of the monsters. Considering that the Megataunt is purposely left at level 4, it is very frail, so the moment it is hit, it will go down. And Elvira, typically being a legendary, is not that strong either. It will go down in one hit as well. Most likely, if you're using something like Spectra, this is no problem whatsoever. But yeah, I can understand that if you don't have Pierce, this can be a problem to deal with, right? You can have a really, really solid team, but obviously, if you can't attack the Megataunt monster, and nor can you get rid of its positive effects, you could actually lose that match, and I have a number of times. So I definitely get the frustration behind this, and so I basically wanted to share how to get through this if you ever run into it. And another thing I'd also recommend is getting a Megataunt of your own so that you can at least absorb some attacks, from the main attacker that they leave for you before you go down, right? And so, yeah, positive effect removal paired with, maybe a Megataunt of your own so that you can take some attacks from the high attacker. And, or just use Pierce, right? You don't need PER if you have Pierce, but if you don't have Pierce, just get a monster that can do PER, get rid of the, the status caster on the Megataunt, get rid of the evasion, attack through, and that's GG usually, because this strategy relies on the, the assumption that you do not have either of these things. So if you do, the strategy falls apart very quickly, and you can just move on with your day without rage quitting. So yeah, that's pretty much going to do it for this video, guys. Again, if you like this video, please like it, share it, and subscribe to the channel if you have not already. And with that, I will be on my way. So have a good day, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace.